Good evening and welcome once again to Better Than Before, live on Facebook. I am Dave Edelstein here to talk to you about all things to do with communicating and relating and being mindful while you do it. I know that I talk quite a bit about commitment and relationships and how very often if you're in a relationship and it isn't working the way that you would like, that you should start by adjusting yourself and working on yourself before you start trying to work on your partner or trade your partner in on somebody else. But I thought I would maybe do a short series here starting this evening with situations that, from my perspective, do not warrant investing a lot of time and effort in fixing. There are certain signs that a relationship really has serious problems, or that one partner or the other has serious problems, and that the level of commitment or interest is not sufficient to go on. Usually what's happened is that one partner is running the relationship strictly for their own benefit and amusement, without any regard at all for the other partner. And as much as that partner tries to regain the attention of the more selfish partner, it isn't working. And what are some signs that we can see that allow us to decide we're really not going to get anywhere trying to put a relationship like this back together? I'm starting sort of at random here with infidelity issues. Infidelity issues, let me be clear, are not necessarily deal breakers. There are marriages that recover from infidelity incidents. They require tremendous commitment and growth from both partners. But what any infidelity incident in a marriage requires to be repaired is that the person who's been unfaithful has to be apologetic. This is a basic requirement. Yes, the relationship may have been suffering. It may be true that the partners were not meeting each other's needs, that there's a mutual problem here. But the person who decided to be unfaithful as a response to the relationship problems really violated any kind of trust that the other about the value and continuity of this relationship. And to rebuild that trust, it's going to be necessary, but not sufficient, as some like to say. It will be necessary for the unfaithful partner to apologize and to admit that for all of their complaints, for all the things that may have been wrong in the relationship, for all their dissatisfactions with the other partner, deciding to go outside of the relationship for personal pleasure and satisfaction, sharing the sexual experience with a person who is outside of the relationship was just inappropriate and something that they feel sorry about and regret having done. Without that, it's going to be very, very tough to rebuild the relationship. The person who was left behind will not be able to regain trust because there's no evidence that this won't happen again, or that the unfaithful partner is in any way committed to the future of the relationship. There has to be some sign that there will be an effort to rebuild trust and make the relationship work. Without some statement that, yes, being unfaithful was wrong, there really is no going forward. Someone who continues to struggle along with a partner who is unfaithful and unapologetic about it is dealing with somebody who's only concerned about themselves and is unlikely to be able to get that person's attention at all, and is unlikely to be able to get that person to repent of what they've done. There has to be some turning back. There has to be a sense of, yes, I was unfaithful, but that's not what I want to be. It's not what I want to do. It's not the sort of person I want to be. I made a mistake. Simply a lot of crying and I'm sorry doesn't necessarily cut it. That may just be immaturity speaking. That may just be, I'm embarrassed that you caught me. There has to be some more clear statement of recommitment, and it has to sound acceptable. It may not be acceptable to you. No level of apology may be for the person that you are. Infidelity may just be a total deal breaker. I'm speaking about if you think you would like to repair your relationship after an infidelity, there has to be some commitment on both sides to repairing all of the things that contributed to this. But there has to be an admission that infidelity was out of bounds. If you can't get that, you're going to be very frustrated in your attempts to rebuild the relationship. There has to be some recommitment to fixing everything that went wrong. And it has to start with the idea that there are limits, that this was a serious boundary violation, that this was a rule breaker and not a good one. So in the first of this brief series about things that indicate that a relationship is not one to continue banging your head against, an unfaithful spouse who in no way repents of what they have done, in no way apologizes or says that they are sorry, is not going to be a good candidate to rebuild your relationship with. And we'll continue this series tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you find your own relationship flourishing, and if not flourishing, repairable. Just want to indicate that there are sometimes limits that out of our self-respect we have to impose. Talk to you again tomorrow evening.